Action 2 News this morning starts now with breaking First Alert traffic.
Good Tuesday morning, everyone. It's a first alert weather day because of a winter storm moving into our area, and we have breaking first alert traffic here. Take a look. What you're seeing is I-41 traffic going away from us is going southbound, but in those northbound lanes on the left there, it's tough to see, but there is a semi-trailer lying completely across those northbound lanes because of a crash earlier this morning. It's on that elevated section of interstate there, and sometimes that makes it more likely to have slippery stretches. And we've been seeing the snow coming down. We don't know how much longer it's going to take to move that truck, but Kristen Allen is there live, and she's been seeing these emergency officials moving around that area.
That's right. We can see up there. I'm going to step out of the way so you can get a closer look. It looks like that the equipment to remove the truck, the tow truck or the wrecker might be a little bit closer to the semi truck right now, and they look like they're getting ready to prepare to try to move it out of the way. It has been here for several hours so far this morning, and they've been working to try to remove it. You can see there's still quite a few flashing lights from emergency response vehicles up there. There's still no complete timeline of when they expect this section to be clear. It is obviously having an impact on traffic this morning. We are on the frontage road here, and we're starting to see a lot more traffic come through as people have to exit the highway to take that detour. We'll continue to follow this and bring you updates as we learn them. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Steve Balon with your first alert forecast.
All right, thanks, Kristen. It's a first alert weather day. This winter storm that we first alerted you to last week is finally arriving. Here's First Alert Viper Max. It's light to moderate snow, basically from Marinette south into the Fox Valley over towards Manitowoc, and maybe just warm enough where there's some raindrops mixed in. There's a little bit of a lull in the snow, De Pere down towards Chilton, but Oshkosh west out into central Wisconsin. The snow is coming down a little bit harder where you see some of that blue shading there on First Alert Viper Max. And more snow is going to be spreading out of the Corn Belt and into Wisconsin as this winter storm roars into the Great Lakes. So through tonight, the National Weather Service continues a winter storm warning. That's all these white shaded counties. A wet 4 to 8 inches of packing snow seems pretty likely for most locations. There may be some spots south and east that get just a little bit more. So lighter snow in the morning, heavier snow in the afternoon and evening, and that's when the wind is really going to get cranked up. Northeast winds will be gusting around 40 miles an hour, causing not just slippery snow-packed roads, but poor visibility. Temperatures will be holding in the lower half of the 30s, a high of 34 degrees. And we want you and your family to stay safe. Keep informed by downloading our free WBAY First Alert Weather app to your smartphone or your tablet. All right, Emily Roberts is live on the roads in the Fox Valley with a closer look on what you might see for your morning drive. Emily.
Good morning. You'll want to see this if you have to leave home today. We are driving on Highway 00 heading east toward Kaukauna. Interstate 41 and highways like this one are mostly just wet. Take a look at that. The snow isn't sticking very much to the roads, but you'll still want to be mindful of spray from other bigger cars and trucks passing by, some cars speeding up and slowing down, and some potentially snow-covered neighborhood streets. I've also seen more and more plows and salt trucks on these roads as the hours go on this morning. Keep it right here. I'll be back with more in-depth live road conditions in the morning rush in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, right before we jump into the morning rush, I want to give you your forecast for the next 24 hours. It's a first alert weather day for snow and wind. The heaviest snow this afternoon into this evening. A wet 4 to 8 inches will fall for most of northeast Wisconsin. Temperatures will be holding steady with a high of 34 degrees.
The Morning Rush. Non-stop news, weather, and traffic until the top of the hour. Sponsored by Sure Dry Basement Systems. Call 920-SURE-DRY today.
It's time for the Morning Rush, a First Alert Weather Day. We have team coverage to keep you and your family safe.
Yeah, and we start with breaking news this morning. A major traffic incident on I-41 in Brown County. Catherine Braccio and Kristen Allen have been on top of this all morning long. And Catherine, we'll start with you. What are you seeing?
So this first alert traffic incident, we've been following this for hours. We want to show you our DOT camera, I-41 at Ashland. You can see here the traffic going away from us, that's southbound, but the northbound side of I-41 is entirely blocked because of a tipped semi. The trailer is completely across those northbound lanes. And you can see all of the flashing lights, tons of emergency personnel there working to move this trailer. And for now, they're having folks exit at Shearing, head up the frontage road and get on back on I-41 at Ashland. So this is just one of the areas that it could be slippery this morning. The DOT is saying we have slippery stretches all over northeast Wisconsin, and the road conditions are going to deteriorate as we go through the day as this winter storm continues to move in. Right now, we want to get another vantage point of that semi-truck with Kristen Allen. She is there live.
And traffic is definitely starting to pick up this morning as more cars are having to exit the highway and travel the frontage road, that's where we are right now. And if you take a look here behind me, you can see exactly where that tipped over semi trailer is. You can see the flashing lights of quite a few first responders that are still on scene here this morning. There is equipment that they have brought in to try to remove that trailer out of the way of the highway. Obviously not an easy process to do that, taking some time here. We're unclear of how long this may be closed this morning, but it has been closed for several hours. We'll continue to update you as we learn more. For now, let's go live to Emily Roberts, who has a look at road conditions. Emily?
Good morning. Be mindful of slick spots if you need to leave home today. We are driving on Highway 96 in Kaukauna toward Little Chute right now, and there are some significant changes just in the last 15 minutes. Snow is really starting to stick on some roads in the area, getting more and more slushy as more commuters hit the road. This morning I've seen it all roads with almost no snow sticking, very wet, to some more slushy like how Highway 96 is starting to look, and some completely covered with snow, especially in those less frequently used turning lanes and as you move closer to neighborhoods. In some of those areas, it's also difficult to see the white and yellow dividing lines on the roads, so very important to be mindful of that as you head out the door. Be cautious and look out for folks speeding up and slowing down because these conditions can change very quickly. It's really a great day to stay inside and build a snowman or grab a cup of hot chocolate if you can. Back to you.
Emily, thank you. And of course, we want you and your family to be safe on this First Alert weather day. Aisha's at the First Alert Safety Desk. What are you hearing from emergency officials this morning?
Well, Tammy, I'm hearing the words patience, preparedness, and staying alert. We are anticipating the possibility of tow bans across northeast Wisconsin because of this winter storm moving in. That means if your car ends up in the ditch, it will need to stay there until the tow ban is lifted. On a day like today, emergency responders, they're very busy. Earlier this morning, we talked about how important it is to have an emergency kit inside of your car, one at home. On that note, something else to think about is your health. Steve mentioned the storm is bringing in that heavy, wet packing snow. The American Heart Association says a lot of people may face an increased risk of a heart attack or sudden cardiac arrest after shoveling this heavy snow. So it puts extra stress on your heart. Take it easy when you're shoveling the next couple of days. Take those breaks. If you experience chest pain or pressure or you're lightheaded, stop shoveling right away. Call 911 also if that pain does not go away. Another thing to remember, and something we've talked about here at the First Alert Safety Desk, officials say if you have a baby at home, avoid bringing the baby into bed with you. If you think it will keep the baby warmer, there is a high risk of suffocation. So if you're worried, dress them in a wearable blanket. That's a good idea. And for old kiddos, it sounds like a lot of them are actually off from school today, Emerson.
Yeah, that's right, Aisha. All the kids that have been waiting to go sledding and build those snowmans, they're going to get that chance today. We've had roughly 280 plus closures submitted to our website, WBAY.com. That includes schools, churches, community centers, all closing down, keeping people home and off the roads during this winter storm warning that is moving through the area here today. For the full list, go to our website and click on the orange banner. That link is also on your screen. 6:50, time now to check in for more on this weather storm with Steve.
All right, I wanted to mention real quickly, Emerson, this is going to be a long duration event. Really, we're going to get some snow over the next 24 hours. So I know you're looking outside and not seeing too much yet. And maybe some of you are like, well, why do the kids have off of school? Well, you know what? It's going to be a lot worse in the afternoon, around the time then parents would potentially pick up their kids. So school districts are playing it safe. First alert, Viper Max has some light to moderate snow across the area. In general, there's a little bit of some rain mixed in along the lakeshore towards Manitowoc and over towards Two Rivers, where you get some blue shading, mainly Oshkosh and west. It's coming down a little bit harder across central Wisconsin, and this is just the beginning because a whole bunch of snow is about to move out of the Corn Belt into Wisconsin. And through tonight, the National Weather Service will keep a winter storm warning going across eastern Wisconsin. We're looking for about 4 to 8 inches of wet packing snow across the Fox Valley and perhaps a little bit more to the south and east. So today, lighter snow in the morning, heavier snow developing in the afternoon and evening with a fierce northeast wind, which will make visibility poor. Driving home from work later today, temperatures will hold in the lower half of the 30s, a high of 34. So there's our winter storm moving through Missouri, tracking towards the Great Lakes. We're on the north side of this storm system, a prime spot to be if you want to get snow. And on the back side of this weather maker, a lot of wind, which has caused blizzard conditions across the plains. We'll have our own wind issues later today. First alert pinpoint predictor shows a couple false starts, if you will. The snow starts, then stops this morning, but then 1 o'clock and beyond, then it really gets organized. Moderate, widespread snow, could be heavy at times when people are coming home from work this evening, and that's when the wind is really going to get cranked up. Out of the northeast, gusts around 35, perhaps even close to 45 miles an hour along the lakeshore. That's going to make it difficult to see where you're going with that poor visibility, and of course the roads will be snow-packed. The snow continues up through about midnight, and in the pre-dawn hours, it slides off to the east, but I think the roads will still be all gunked up with some snow as you go back to work tomorrow morning. So through the noon hour, First alert pinpoint predictor says a slushy inch or two, but then more snow in the afternoon and evening. When it's all said and done through tonight, 4 to 8 inches of wet packing snow is likely. That'll cut through the Fox Valley over into Door County. Could see 8 to 10 inches of snow. Manitowoc south towards Sheboygan. Totals in the north will be on the lower side. So your severe weather outlook through tonight is high and then moderate for Friday and Saturday with another storm in sight. Temperatures right now not too far from the freezing mark with a northeast wind coming in around 10 to 15 miles an hour. 33 in Green Bay, wind chill 25, northeast wind at 9 miles an hour. Periods of snow, heaviest late today, turning windy with a high of 34 degrees. And a quick peek at your first alert 7-day forecast shows more snow late in the week, followed by bitter cold air as we head towards the end of the weekend. Catherine.
Steve, thanks. First alert traffic, a major traffic incident we've been following here. Take a look, I-41 at Ashland. This is Brown County. Traffic coming toward us. There isn't any coming toward us in those northbound lanes because there is a semi-trailer blocking those lanes. Crews are working to remove it. We will continue to monitor this and let you know when they have it out of the way. Right now, we want to talk with Mason Simmons, who's a traffic and safety engineer with the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. This winter storm coming in. Mason, how does the Wisconsin Department of Transportation prepare for days like this?
Well, about 5 days prior, before the storm, we do start monitoring it so we can make sure all of our staff are ready to go. The day before the storm, we like to place a brine mixture down on the pavement, mixture of salt and water. That helps keep the roads from icing over as much, and it helps that when we do have to go out there to remove the snow, that it helps it to push off a little bit easier.
So we want to remember those good driving habits in weather like this. What do you think people really need to focus on today?
Well, the first thing is know before you go and pack your patience. Take it slow as you're going out about your day today. If you go to our 511wi.gov website, we have about 14,000 miles of highway shown with weather suggestions out there, whether it's slippery, travel not advised, or whatever the roads might be. We also have live traffic cameras out there so that you can see for yourself, so just to make sure that this is something that you're okay driving in. Also, make sure that you pack your kits for your car. I like to make sure that I have non-perishable foods like granola bars, bottle of water, and a car charger for my phone in case my battery were to die.
Yeah, we definitely use those 511 tools here in First Alert Traffic, Mason. We have about 45 seconds left. If people, we hope they don't, but if in weather like this they slide off onto the shoulder or into the ditch, what should they do?
First thing is just to remain calm. These things do happen, and call 911. They will get you out. Our first responders are really good at responding to incidents along those lines. Before the incident was to happen, make sure that you're paying attention to where you are on that highway. Nearest exit signs, mile marker posts, street crossings, so that if you do slide off, you can tell 911 exactly where you are. Try not to overexert yourself. Don't get out of the car unless you absolutely have to. If you slid off the road, there's a chance that a car behind you could also slide off, and we don't want them to slide into you. So it's all
Mason
about your
Simmons,
safety.
thank you so much for that helpful information with the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. Good stuff to remember.